Should it be a little bit more down? Might be down.
Like,
Wait, because you got it turned on. We're already on.
what,
Shut it.
nobody cares, Mom. Nobody cares.
Oh.
They know we're the blind ladies. They don't care.
Yeah, but
See, the yarn closet. Good day, afternoon, morning. I don't know.
it's afternoon.
No idea.
It's afternoon.
But we might not post it when it's afternoon. People might watch it at 12 o'clock at night.
But you're not actually in the picture.
I'm gonna get there. Hello from the Yarn Closet in Tucson, Arizona. I am Laura, and this is my mom, Kitty. We are Yarn Closet AZ for Arizona on Instagram. There is a website, TheYarnCloset.com. We do the Yarn Closet podcast every week. There are a lot of playlists that we keep adding to that are knitting and crochet, and I add my 4 and 7 minute workouts to a playlist and some other stuff. So enjoy that. I was just giving you a minute to see this shirt that I had made up a while ago. No, I don't have a bunch of them for sale. We haven't gotten there. Because as some of you may know, my husband had emergency surgery yesterday for an appendicitis that he'd let go on too far. It had ruptured. We had to call the ambulance, and he was a fireman paramedic. So for him to have those guys come and pick him up physically
Off the floor
was a big deal.
he couldn't even straighten out. He was in so much pain.
And
Couldn't get up.
it was so bad when they went in and did the surgery that he's going to probably be in the hospital for a week. At this point, either he's looking at Thursday if he's darned lucky, from what the surgeon says. So,
It could have been fatal.
yes, had he waited another 6 to 12 hours, it could have been fatal. So tell your husbands and tell them not to be men about the stuff. Because if it's bad enough that you can't sleep or you can't sit comfortably, go in. And he did say that in the last 2 weeks, he'd started going to pee, and he really couldn't pee with the same vigor as a younger man, and he thought it was just age-related. And then the next time he pee would be fine, and then the next time he pee, it really didn't all come out, or it didn't come out enough. And the surgeon said that's because his appendix had swollen to the point that it had pushed his bladder and some other stuff, and where it had ruptured and exploded, your appendix is attached to your intestines, so it actually exploded part of his intestines also.
So, all in all, yuck.
Yuck. So we're gonna do stuff, but we're a little scattered because it's been crazy. I'm starving. I'm eating a lot in the last 3 days.
And she just got home from at the hospital. So I'm going to show you.
So you go first.
Yes, I
go first. Woo! Finished objects.
Finished objects. This is not
Woo, woo.
This is not a whip. I'm getting all this lingo now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so guys, look at how big this thing actually is. It's big. It's long.
We can do this today because we're actually at my house.
Yeah.
So if I put it on the floor,
It's
and
about
I'm 5'4",
It's about 4.5 feet.
yeah.
It's that dappled or doppled or something it was called, and it's different shades going down. Okay, here's what I did wrong. Okay, I'm learning. This is my first thing ever. This is the coolest thing. It was either at the top or the bottom. I don't know, but it's the top. I learned how to finish this off. Laura taught me last week, and I got it and finished that off, and very clever. It looked nice. Okay, then I go back, because you know how she always says, and mark all your places where you're making a mistake with the little peeper things. What do you call those things?
Stitch markers.
Whatever. Okay, so you mark it, but
And you can buy stitch markers on TheYarnCloset.com on the store tab. Yay!
Yeah. So I marked this. Okay, guys, this is funny. So she said, remember we had the little discussion last time about how I said, oh, and then when I get done, do I have to do anything? And she says, 4 times the length. Oh, I thought she meant the width. I wasn't listening to her, but I don't always. And then, so I didn't do 4 times the length or 4 times the width either, and I just cut off a chunk. Okay. when you're doing something that has different colors in it, you can't just have one piece of yarn to do your, fix-its.
Bind off. If you're
your fix-its.
oh, your
I'm like,
fix-its.
your
Yes, your
fix-
fix-its.
Because when you do your fix-its with the dark pink, it comes out.
And Mom, you just tied a knot in this. This is a nice nubby little knot. You didn't even weave in the ends.
I did. If you would look nice.
No, but I can feel a nubby little knot. You wouldn't have that if you weaved
You
in the
know,
ends,
you wouldn't.
probably.
You wouldn't feel it if you just cut this off.
No, you still feel the knot. You have to weave in the ends properly.
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever. Anyway, you can't use the wrong color on it. So when she yelled at me about do the 4.5, no kidding. Do about 5 feet of whatever you've got. So if it's something that's multicolored, no kidding. She had a reason. And try to weave your ends in a little bigger. Okay, but I actually finished something. Now look at this. So
now
then
we're on to Kitty's works in progress.
this is a whip. Lynette, are you watching? Okay, that's Crochet Grammy. Okay, look at this. So Crochet Grammy is the one who does the reader. Okay, so I'm going to do this reader. So I bought this yarn for like $1 or something for these things. And I said, oh, this is beautiful. I just love this. And Laura thought, oh, my God, she is blind as a bat. Because she thought this was
But part
ugly.
of the problem is my mom's colors. She doesn't read her colors quite right. She doesn't actually understand how bright that is.
Yeah, because with my losing eyesight stuff, I've lost a lot of color sense. So to me, this is just adorable. So anyway, so then Laura did a pattern for me, and the pattern would be so that on the ends, it would be knit 5 on the ends, on these ends, and then the rest you just crochet or
The way you say
knit
it
above.
is the edges are done in garter stitch and the interior is done as stockinette. So you have the pattern is done so that you have an automatic border.
Yeah, so I have an automatic border on my thing. This is going to be this reader thing. And you know what? I decided I wouldn't wear this unless I was going to the circus because it's a little tiny bit bold maybe. But guess what? I decided I'm starting it over because I like it so
You're
much.
not starting over again?
No, I'm not again. Only
Oh, God.
okay, this is my 3rd time, but this 3rd time's a charm. But you guys look, at the bottom is really neat. It's got that garter stitch. Then it goes into stockinette stitch. And I learned how to do stockinette stitch, and I've got some marker things in it because I have a few holes and stuff. I dropped a few stitches, it is what it is. But I learned to do it looser, not to be so tight. I was going to just cast on and do all my stitches and get them tight. Well, tight doesn't work because it's really hard to knit if it's too tight. So, okay, and look at, isn't that pretty? Look at, you guys, I'm doing it. If I can do this, anybody can do it. So, that's what my work in progress is, and now each time we do this, I'll show how far I'm getting so that Lynette can see, because Lynette is interested in watching me how I do this. And yes, Lynette, I'm actually going to learn how to crochet again.
I think you could learn a
I
few
actually never
things.
learned before, but I will
think you
learn.
could do a few things. Once you get a little better at knitting, I think you'll have an easier time figuring out how to crochet, at least in a way so you can crochet the bind off, so you could crochet a cast on, and so you can crochet to fix some of the errors because it's much easier and faster.
And I think that crocheting has to be a lot faster than this
Crocheting
knitting
is
stuff.
faster than knitting. Yes, there are people who can knit like the bejesus, but crocheting is technically faster.
But I really am enjoying this. It is relaxing because we watch some really dumb stuff on TV. I mean, my husband likes every crime show and every, well, whatever. And so, and I like Deadliest Catch. Anybody out there watching Deadliest Catch? Okay. I have to say that, Laura. 'cause
I know.
It's one of my best shows. And Survivor. I think they should have Survivor for seniors.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, except which woman would go on there in her underwear?
None of us. None of us. Do you see these? I have jeans that go to my knees. Aren't they kind of cute?
Yeah.
Yeah, except that my legs are not cute underneath because they glow in the dark and now the varicose veins. But I could just
Did you
get
wanna
more
sit here?
tattoos. No, I didn't.
You are not getting any more
I'm
tattoos.
not getting more tattoos. So the really fun thing we were going to announce for this podcast is we've had some prizes that have not been claimed. So we have decided to just supplement and give out a prize every week of July because it's our pod-i-versary. So today you can go through the prize. That's the prize we're giving away today.
Oh my goodness. Okay, first, this is a bath bomb, B-O-M-B. And this is a lip balm, B-A-L-M. See?
Good job.
Good job.
You do actually have better pronunciation than me.
I don't know. Anyway, and this is all natural. And is this an unscented
Yeah, I
one?
think most of the stuff I get is unscented.
Maybe. Anyway, but Cheryl makes these, and she lives in Mayer, which is up by Prescott. And some places call it Prescott. We call it Prescott here. And her son is an actor at the Gaslight Theater. Maybe he's going to be on here one day. And, oh, look at this. Look at a little plastic heart container you can carry like your breath mints or your nitro pills
Or your stitch
something like that.
markers.
Or, okay, your stitch markers.
It's a knitting podcast.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, look at this. She does these little stitch markers. This is Braille. Who the heck would know? Oh, the word is on it. The word is on for the color, and then you can feel it, and that says in Braille.
It's not the entire word printed out. It's usually the first two letters.
Oh, I don't know Braille, so I don't know. But anyway, you know, it doesn't make any difference because you're just marking something. You don't have to know Braille. It's a marker. Oh, hey, you know what I found? I have a whole box of these.
Oh, wow.
Red ones.
Cool.
Yeah, you can have. See these little clippies like this that you can use to hold things together or to mark your mistakes
Or if
or
you've
something.
got to sew
Yeah,
like an inset arm into something,
Yeah.
you can clip a head and then do your mattress stitch or whatever.
like that. Yeah, I found I was a quilter and we used these when we were doing the binding on the quilts going around, and we, you know, like that clip. Okay, so you can have that. Put your breath mints in it afterwards, or if you're a heart patient, carry your nitro. And
It's a crochet hook.
oh, look at this! It's a
With-
crochet hook, custom made
Yep.
crochet hook end made by her husband. And this card, I don't know, send it to somebody.
No,
Says-
you use that to make notes on it in your project bag on the back. And it's to remember to
Oh.
look with your heart first.
Oh, cute. That's cute.
Where has she
And
been
then-
this whole time?
I don't know. And then look at this. It's a nice plastic bag that all this stuff is going to come in, and you can carry like a work in progress, a little teeny tiny
Like a
thing,
sock work in progress.
a little
Because
teeny tiny
it's a
thing.
sock bag size.
And then this does this.
Drawstring.
And so it's waterproof, so you could take it like if you're going to the beach or something. And then look at this. And then she did this on
Say
her.
the name of the yarn. Can you read with those glasses? I got glasses.
I got glasses.
Okay. Read the name of the yarn, read the color, and read
This
the,
is
like,
by Cascade Yarns.
Yep.
And it is Heritage Prints. It's a 75% superwash merino wool and a 25% nylon. It has 439 rows. This is a sock tube. It's big, long thing like this. It's doubled over, so it's like 4 things. Like it's
So-
long. Trust me.
Yeah. Oh, now go to the microphone.
We have the microphone with the.
So it's
Thing for when I
439
swear.
rows, but
Rows.
look at that. Look at how long that is.
Yeah.
And remember, if you don't want to make socks from this, just pull from one of the ends and it will unravel like a sock blank. And this was done on a 64 stitch circular
Cranker.
sock machine and cranker, not grinder. And it's an 8 to 9 stitch per inch. When I'm initially doing it, it came out at 9 stitches per inch. But remember, they do soften up a little bit, and depending on the yarn, I've seen some of them go from 9 to 8. Most of the time they just soften a little bit. But that's the best I can do for stitch per inch. So anyway, that is the Yarn Closet sock tube prize. Going to Amy Miner. Amy Miner, you are one of our wonderful subscribers and commenters. Thank you so much, and please get a hold of us you can email us at TheYarnCloset@yahoo.com, and we will send that off. You usually get it within a few days, a week.
Is there anything else I have to read about?
Mm-mm.
Are you on?
Yeah, I'm on. Do you have any
Okay.
questions?
Do I have questions for today? Yes.
But should we do them later? Let me show some of my stuff.
I just have one quick one.
Okay, what's your quick one?
What does backwards knit mean?
Okay, so backwards knitting is if you're knitting a flat panel. Okay, so you're not knitting in the round, you're not knitting
like
a tube. Your blanket was a flat
blanket,
panel.
yeah.
Okay, if you knit a tube,
Mm-hmm.
that's knitting in the round. If you knit a hat, you're knitting in the round. If you knit a flat panel, so when I knit that sweater, because I didn't steek it, I didn't cut it,
Yeah.
I knit it from this side all the way around to that side and back again.
Yeah.
Okay, so backwards knitting is used because people don't like to purl. So if you want to get stockinette stitch and you have a flat piece, you have to knit one row and purl the next row. I don't like to purl that much, so I will backwards knit. You never have to turn your project that way either, and you still get stockinette.
Cool.
It's a way to purl without doing it the classic way.
Okay, I'm moving this out of this chair.
Okay, you don't like that chair? Well, that's why I
What?
have this pillow here to sit on.
Oh, well, I didn't think I was high enough. See?
See, now you're higher.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so, it feels like I have finished about 8 sock tubes recently. I have not. I have finished 6 sock tubes for this year. My goal was 6 sock tube socks. My goal is 1 per month. My goal was to get 12 more socks into rotation, because I realized that when you're just throwing them in the washer and dryer, even if they're superwash, but you're wearing them for people, I rarely leave the house. I take the kids on the little scooter up to school and back, whatever. Sometimes people don't realize I'm there in the clothes I slept in. And so anyway, I need a lot more handmade socks so they don't get thin so fast. So anyway, I took a long sock tube that had no heel. I put in a heel and I trimmed it down so I could end up with, because it was up to here, so I could end up with another sock out of this portion. Because I like shorties. I like them. And because I have little bits and I don't buy a lot of 20-gram minis, my heels, toes, and cuffs tend to be 3-color or 2-color or whatever. And I don't really care. They're for me.
And we don't need we need the foot part, but we don't need the ankle part going up, because we don't need
Because
warmth
we're old,
here.
and if it's too tight, it leaves a mark. And then this was the other pair that I had finished on the 5th.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah. This is actually, this speckled yarn is from Lolo Did It.
I like that.
She's a yarn dyer out of Vegas.
She dyed that?
Yeah, it's called hand-dyed yarn.
Some people are really gifted.
They're called indie dyers. They come up with how to do it. Somebody dyed this yarn. Somebody did that. I don't know whose yarn this is.
I never did that tie-dye either. You know, I couldn't figure that out either. Something about tying this, tying that.
So I have the other half of both of these to finish off, and then I have that orange pair that had the 3 different color purple, and I didn't get the toe right on that one because that was from a 72 stitch tube. And for me, I don't love the 72 stitch socks. I have a small foot, but I decided to just go with it. So anyway, I'll show those when they're done on another podcast. And to stay with the sock vein, I just wanted to show you, because people are asking, I think we've got enough interest now, people are asking me to do a tutorial on sock tube knitting. It's not gonna be a tutorial like you're used to. It's gonna be a blind lady tutorial. So I will do, maybe my mom will help me, I don't know. I'll do an episode where I talk through with some visual aid how you deal with knitting socks from a sock tube, okay? Because look at, here is this long green sock tube, and I have no idea what this green is, but it's so smooshy soft. Oh, I think it's Tucson's, no it's not.
It's something, it's nice.
It's very nice. I think it's got some cashmere in it.
Yes, but you're right, because you send this to me ever, and I would say,
What the heck?
I'll use it as a,
Okay, but what I
Scarf.
do to make a tube into a 2 at a time pair of socks is first I'll knit the cuff, then I'll knit the cuff, then I'll put in an afterthought heel.
and you're gonna have to show how to do that.
No,
because-
there's plenty of people who've shown how to do it. I'll talk you through it.
Yeah.
I'm not showing you. Then I put in this afterthought heel. And you know what, people? We are not the best knitters in the world. But that's okay, because I'm still a knitter with a capital K. I made socks and a sweater that
With a
stood up to
capital
being
K.
washed. So now what I'm going to do
Yeah.
is I'm going to decide where I need to start doing my toe. And I'm going to weave in my needle all the way around the tube here and all the way around the tube here. And because I'm limited on the number of needles I have in certain sizes, I just use this little needle, what do they call that? A safety line? Something. So I'll use that on one side, and then I'll weave in the needle on the other side, so, you know, when I'm done with one, I can switch. But what I actually do is once I weave those in, then I will go to the middle of the tube. And this is very similar to afterthought heels, because in afterthought heels, you weave your needle in to this row, you skip a row, and you weave it into the next row. Because if you look here, this heel is done on the row that's missing. If that makes any sense, okay?
No, but when you show this, how to do this, it's gonna be interesting.
So once I weave them in and figure out exactly where they're gonna go, then I would just in the very middle, I'd pull up a stitch. Dun dun dun. Cut. My ladybug scissors. My mom used to paint ladybugs on my face when I had to wear eye patches to school as a child.
I did, I have them going from her, like, her chest going up and like this and around her face. She loved it.
Because the reason that I will weave in my needles here and then rip it back here is because I'm going to re-knit a section of this tube as the toe. So that's why it's not a big deal that I am doing this right now, but I am showing you what it's like. So then you go, can you see that? You go through after you've snipped and you'll find that there's one row where you just pick the yarn out. There it is. There it is. See? There it is. You just pick the yarn out. And then I was picking the wrong one. But anyway, you get the drift. So you just pick the yarn out, and it seems knitsy, but it's not as bad as weaving in ends. It's actually quite fun and invigorating. And then all of a sudden you'll have 2 socks that you can go ahead and, as long as you've got your needle ripped in or woven in where you're going to start your toe, you just unravel it and start knitting your toes. So that's how I do a sock tube as 2 at a time. It gets them done so much faster. I stay so much more motivated.
That was pretty good because we have no clue when you're talking about a sock tube. What?
Some people
What
know,
is-
but not everybody.
No.
And then look
Oh.
at what I finished at the hospital today. Because you know, the best part about him being in the hospital for a week, I'll get more time to knit or crochet without children.
Yeah, because you could just go and sit there. Oh, I love the colors.
So this is just some odds and ends that I had. This is a Barocco alpaca. I have 2 skeins of this we'll give away in one of our crochet prizes.
Beautiful, beautiful, you guys.
This is Festivus. It's a fingering weight. This is DK, this is fingering, so I doubled it to make the weight of the yarn, the size of the yarn similar. Did a row, then I had this, I think it's a Cascade. Then I had 1 more row, and that was it. That's all the Festivus I had. And then I had just a small little chunk of this, and I have no idea what it was. But these 3, these 2 actually were fingering weight also, and I held them double. So this one was DK, the rest were all fingering weight, I held double. And this is that easy breezy crochet shawl. And it's a classic center. You start at the center. Did you start at the, yeah, I started at the center. Anyway, I really like it. I've also designed, and I need to type it up, and I need to find out if this is like a created stitch or not a created stitch, or I may just put it out there for free, because I really love doing this stitch. So what I've designed is a shawl that's in, so you start at the point, and then one side stays and the other side grows. So it's, what is that called? Asymmetrical.
Yeah,
I don't know.
asymmetrical.
Anyway, hold on. Do I have a picture? I might have a picture.
So if she's talking about the one that goes like this and then goes out like a,
Okay, like that.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually going to start at the point up here that you don't see, and the one side is going to stay straight and the other side is going to grow. So it's going to be really skinny on one side to
Yeah.
bigger, so you can stop at any point, but it's going to be in that stitch pattern. And no, it doesn't, it's not rocket science to figure that out. It's not, I don't know,
It'll
you
be
know,
nice.
it's so hard when you come to designing patterns, because people always tell me that I'm designing patterns, and I think, but everybody knows how you make this shape and everybody knows how you do this stitch, but some people can't actually figure that out, you know?
And not everybody knows. Everybody maybe who's been knitting for a while.
Yeah.
But for those of us just starting, no.
But anyway, I think I'm gonna write that up and just put it for free over on the Ravelry. Don't
wherever,
ask.
wherever.
Don't ask.
So
And then this is the yarn that I picked out for that shawl.
pretty.
This is also a Lolo Did It colorway, Grinch, I think. And this is like a charcoal black. It's very tonal. This is what's considered tonal.
To me, that's the darkest purple around.
No, this is actually a black.
it?
It's
See, I
from
can't tell that.
WIP Whip Yarns. They are in Oracle, Arizona, north of Tucson. So then this is the one from Lolo, and then this, I don't remember the brand. It's just a fingering weight, but it's comparable. So I'm going to hold it double, and I'm going to use those 3. And crochet that next shape. And then the other thing that some of you will see if you're on the Instagram is that I am doing some major item destashing. So we sent out one item this week. It turns out that spinning yarn is not my jam. And I understand you need to practice things. I totally get it. But I also have some medical bills to pay for. So I'm destashing a few things.
It's been a bad year for you guys for medical bills.
But you know, we can do it, so it's okay. And there will be another year for, I still have a Nano coming, which is an electric eel wheel, really tiny spinner. And so I still have some fiber. So it's not like, you know, I'm just gonna practice on something different than had a bigger eel wheel that I got. And
I don't
sold
know.
that.
I don't know what any of this is.
Eel
Well,
wheel is a brand.
Yeah. Well,
So anyway, this is, if you're interested in this destashed item, you let me know. It's a huge thing of monk's cloth. Can you see how much? 5 cute colored hoops. They don't work well for punch needle, but I think they work well to use to hang up a finished project. And this is a framed design, although you could do a different design. And it comes with a clear plastic project bag, all the yarn that you
with
need.
zippers and
Zippers and snaps, all the yarn you need for that project.
It doesn't say how much is on this, but it just says it's monk's cloth for use with tufting guns,
Yeah.
punch needles, and rug hooks.
And then also a PVC frame. I think it's 11 by 8 by 11 or 11 by 11. I don't know. Some backing material, the pattern with explanation on that punch needle, a small piece of monk's cloth for either a backing or a small project, and then a nice little muslin bag that holds
All your tools.
3 different punch needles. This one is adjustable. This one is not adjustable. And this one is not adjustable. So there are some different widths, but just barely. They're all around, I believe it's the 10 size. So you can either use thicker yarns or doubled up thinner yarns and the needle to thread them. So if anyone is interested, let me know. Comment, email, you know the deal, you know the routine. And don't freak out, people. I'm okay with this. Don't freak out. As you see here, I have the circular sock machine that I use all the time. I also have a circular hat machine that I understand a lot of people are not going to be interested in. But I'm also selling the circular hat machine because I do not use it as much as I would like to, and other people are not all that interested. So to be able to pay off a bill, I'm happy to let it go. It is from Erlbacher Gerhardt. I had it less than a year. It's been lightly used. It works fine. It's got a 90 stitch cylinder with 1-to-1 ribber and a 60 stitch cylinder that you can also use that same ribber for. And it will come with the row counter, the weights, the bonnet to get started, a cute little cover, and some waste yarn, and the very secure storage box from Erlbacher, and the instruction booklet from Erlbacher. So if you're interested, let me know. And it will be at a savings off of the Erlbacher website because it is used. I understand that these things are used, so it's still cash in hand. So that's it. That's all I got for this week.
And I got nothing else.
You got nothing else?
I got nothing else.
How long have we done that? Did you hear Prudence?
34. No, I didn't.
Oh, I
She
never
was
think
supposed
I
to be with Grandpa. She is with Grandpa. They went to the mailbox place.
Okay.
All right. So look with your heart first.
Look with your heart first. Thank you, everybody. We love spending time with you and chatting with you throughout the week. Honestly, the way to win prizes is to subscribe and comment, because we use the YouTube generated. And make sure that your privacy settings, Grammy told me about this and I didn't even realize. Make sure your privacy settings aren't set to private, because if you subscribe and comment, but your privacy settings are set to private, then you won't come up in the random generator.
Oh, and you know what? Cute granddaughters we've all been posting lately. Isn't that funny? Because now Grammy had hers on. We had one, and Dee Thompson had 2 girls on.
Yes. Hi,
And-
Dee's daughter. Hi.
And you know what? What's our next book going to be when we're done with this one? Isn't it kind of neat to listen to somebody
I
read
am
a book?
listening to Cumberbatch. What's his first name? It starts with a B. It's on one of the playlists. Reading Sherlock Holmes. He plays Sherlock Holmes in that PBC special. Yeah, I love that. I like to pick people's voices I like to hear.
Yeah. And Dee Thompson, with her southern drawl kind of a voice, is perfect reading her book, Tom Sawyer. I'm loving that. I'm gonna miss it when it's done. So
Thank
she
you.
better be thinking of another one. Thank you and goodbye, guys. See you next week.